It says we're live. Hello, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, wherever you are, all the best. I am Joy Ruffin, and I'm coming to you tonight on Tuesday with Biz to Biz with Joy. Grow your business in style. Well, life happens. All kinds of things happen, and I'm going to share with you something that happened here tonight in just a bit. But for now, just know that I am Joy Ruffin. I am your signature style specialist. It's all about personal and professional development. And I've added into that spiritual because without that, especially with all the madness that we're involved with now, we're not going anywhere. And business probably, let me take out probably, needs it now more than ever. So, what I'm going to be talking with you tonight about is you. Now, we were to have a guest here, a lovely lady. It was to be titled Ladyboss International Prototype, Authentically Connecting Women in Business. And I so wanted you to meet this lady. Life happens, things happen. And what we do as a professional, we just rise, we soar, we let nothing stop us because we know that you look to see us. You look to hear us, and you depend on us coming to you to share messages of anything that will help you, us, all of us on our journeys. So keep in mind that this lady will join us at some point in time when the time is beneficial for her. It wasn't tonight, understood, and we go forward. So that said, what are we going to talk about tonight? Well, we're going to talk about you. Everything is about you. For those of us who come here as leaders, as professionals to serve you, it's all about who are you? What is it that you're looking for? Because you want to grow your business in style. And my work as a personal and professional development style leadership coach is to help you get to all that's the best within you. You know, today more than ever, there are no rules. It seems no one cares. Who cares? Remember that expression? Well, if you're in leadership, your assignment, I love the movies, is to care and to be compassionate and passionate about what others are doing and what they're about. Because collaboration and being able to work with others is one of the main characteristics that you must have as a leader. To blow people off and to blow people away for whatever your personal reasons might be, if you've not gotten all of your, I call it stuff together, that's not going to play. That's not going to work. So you send your blessings and your love and you wait for people to get to where they need to go and you just move onward. So why am I sharing this with you? Because your assignment, love the movies. We all have our favorites, right? There is Mission Impossible, the old and the new. Mission Impossible. I don't know how many of you remember the old. And then there is Star Trek, Star Wars, some of the best. There's Cinderella, The Wizard of Oz. All of these movies are classics because they have messages for all of us to take in and to embed. So what I want you to do as I share with you some of the things that I'm going to be talking about tonight, which all evolves around you and what you're about and what you want. And I want you to continue to ask yourself, because we're in a time of deep confusion, which is leading to transformation. For me, for you, for all of us, who are we really at our core? How do we show up that soul, that essence, that spirit of us that wants to soar with others, even though you can soar alone? That's not the point. Everyone needs their alone time. Everyone has that to an extent. But when it comes to being of service and working to serve others, you want to be able to collaborate with the best of the best. So that's why eagles associate with eagles. Nothing wrong with pigeons, nothing at all. Average, ordinary, common. Listen, more or less, most of us start there. But as you begin to get more and more into yourself and understanding, no matter what type personality, core essence you are, You know that you need others because you can't do anything alone. And one of the things I'd like to share with you before we go any further here, talking about my event, which is coming up on April the 29th at 4:30, which is this Thursday. There is a show that I watch often as I can. There isn't much time for TV anymore. And it's called, I don't know, it's Ancestry, DNA, Finding Your Roots or something like that with Professor Henry Gates. And I love that show. And he said that there was a myth going around that so many Africans who thought they had Native American Indian blood, it was like a small percentage, 3%, if that. Well, I'm happy to tell you that I'm part of that 3%, because when my sister many, many moons ago, and the other thing that I love, which you'll get to know in addition to my ancestors and all of that stuff, is astrology. Whether you love it or not, it's irrelevant. It, for me, is relevant. Said that 3%. Well, when she did our DNA, we found out that we were African, Native American Indian, Irish, Russian, and German. What a combination, right? Indeed it is. So that said, what I want to share with you is that how you feel and how you project who you are is contingent upon going and probing deep inside to find out, who do you want to show up as? Now, when I tell you that I love the entertainment industry, you bet I do. It's good therapy in so many ways. But yet there's a vast, wide, one and the same separation. It's magical, one of my favorite words. It's full of illusion. It's full of fantasy, imagination that runs rampant, and all that other stuff that makes it interesting and exciting. But my friend, it's not the real world. We need it, but it's not our world. It's a business world, and it's a humongous business world. But the world that we live in, entrepreneurial, corporate business people, and the entertainment business is a corporate business too, but it's a whole different animal. And what we have to find out, those of us who grew up under that umbrella, whatever generation you're in, is that they're two separate entities. Applaud them. One of the greatest and the most endearing quotes, for another thing that you might not know is that I love quotes because they're educational for me in many ways. I read this quote the other day, and I've been saying it everywhere that I go because it was so impactful for me, and I hope it will be for you. And it said that the ability to observe, to be observant, to observe others without judgment is a sign of the highest intelligence and the highest calling. Why? Because these eyes that can see and love the fashion industry, I have learned over the years, the many years that I've been here, that it's not about fashion. It's really about developing style that fits you. And today, with no rules, no one cares. So what? How do you discover you? Well, you have to rise above the average, the normal, the ordinary, the common, the dime a dozen. Nothing wrong with that. But if you're into leadership, you want to rise and soar way above that, because they, the they people, they need you. They need us, because they need messengers, guides, and coaches. And the other beauty of that is that no matter how wise you are, how intellectual, intelligent, one and the same, gifted, talented, skilled you are, you still need your own coach, mentor, consultant, whatever that might be. And so the person who's really into leadership is constantly on the path of forever, eternal, everlasting learning. And if you are in the ego category, you realize that you are meant to share your wisdom. You are not meant to hold on to anything. But you must find the person, the people, the circle, the tribe of people who want your message. Not everyone will, for numerous reasons. I'm going to ask you, if you're here for the first time and you're joining me, to connect with me in my Facebook group, Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. We'll be meeting there every third Thursday of the month, and we'll be talking about everything that has to do with you being your own leading lady. And so why did I choose that name? Because your legacy is now. Leading Ladies, leaving legacies right here and now, not when you're under or wherever, how, whatever happens to us. I have my theories sharing with you later, not now. Whatever that is, how you show up as your best self and how you present yourself when you're going out to meet, greet, and connect with others, networking, whatever it might be, promoting what you're about, marketing what you're about. It's your best self. This lackadaisical, casual, with no concern because it doesn't matter because you're too smart, you're too this, you're too that. Those days are gone, even though there are no rules. But you have your rules: integrity, character, ethics, your principles, the honor that you have about you and how you show up. That's what people are looking for. The confusion out here is rampant. And did you know, I read this some time ago, and now it comes back to me now that I'm sharing this with you. So many young people, and I volunteer with these young juvenile delinquents. And one of the things that I was absolutely appalled at learning was that the suicide rate is higher than it's ever been since the beginning of time. Does that say something to you? Does that tell you how more than ever they need your guidance and your wisdom? And that it's your responsibility to first be responsible to you to show up as your best self so that they have some stellar, sterling, strong examples of what leadership is all about. So what I'm going to do is invite you to join me in not only the Leading Ladies group, but I'm also going to ask you to join me in my workshop. It's free. And I'm going to be sharing with you the 5 keys, the 5 elements of what it takes to have star power. And I'm not talking about leading lady star power back in the day or on the runways, the fashion runways. I'm talking about your style that's indigenous to you. Why do you need it? Who wants it? And what is it going to do for you? Well, that's a decision that you have to make. But if you're twirling in that closet, and if you're spending a lot of money and you're never ever satisfied, and something is tickling and nudging you and winking at you from inside, and wherever you go, there's that, didn't quite get it right. What am I missing? That's what I'm going to help you with. That's what I'm going to support you in your discovery, design, and development of you. Because it doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. What is best for you? And you cannot know that until you begin to get into this pandemic. This virus has asked all of us to step back, sit back, and take note of what's coming up, what's surfacing. Are we on the right track? Are we doing what we were called here to do? Are we delivering our message, our work, filled with our passion, our heart, our soul connected? You know, I call it the hub, the head and the heart connected to the substance of you, which is your soul. Well, the universe is weeping for you to step up and step out at your best. Here's an analogy that I'd like to share with you because I found it amusing when I was a young teeny tot. And I still find it amusing today in this society that we're all in with no rules and who cares and whatever you wear, it's okay, it's you. And to an extent, there is some truth to that. But what I was always somewhat taken aback at, and I come from this deep Southern tradition, religious background, in this tribe community that I was in, every Sunday up to church. And the women, there were 5 women in this household, and they would get ready to go to praise the Lord. Gussied up. All the things that it took to do that. And I would get on a little stool and I'd sit on the side there. And it was like a Broadway show for me. I was mesmerized. It was a transformation that I saw from beginning when they started to when they finished, and how they strutted like the queens and the regal, majestic women that they were. And I was saying, wow, this is amazing. But then they felt better. They were going to praise the Lord. But then my thought then, and I'm sharing this with you, I love feedback, was why do we get up, get dressed to go to praise or celebrate or be applauded by someone else? Why aren't we doing that for ourselves? And then it began, as I began to travel around the country here, doing all the things that I did in the fashion world, began to take these great big eyes and look out and see, I began to understand. And that's when, and many other signals came to me, insights. But this one, I began to see that we don't know. Because when I arrived at the Fashion Institute of Technology, I didn't know. I thought I knew. And I knew that I had this strong sense of aesthetics, but I didn't know to the extent that it was. And there was no judgment. I was just like, I always knew that could be better. This could be better. So then how do you use that? Because I went to school to find out. And so many go through school and they still don't get it, but that's okay. That's their path. But then I began to say, this is more like a movement, because we as women need to understand more about how we show up. If it's to praise the Lord and that's when you dress and that's only when you dress well, today with no rules, what can I say? I don't think that's the prevalent cry for the mass majority of women, especially business women, entrepreneurial women who are wanting to present themselves in the best light to showcase who they are to others. And I'm working with women hire me who are in their second act, second chapter, midlife. This is just terminology. I'm talking regardless of age. If there's this vast confusion and this unknowing and you haven't tapped into what really showcases and exhibits you the best, gives you that status and that commanding presence, even if you're a fashionista, then it's time to connect. And this workshop is going to give you some tools that I almost am assured that you don't know, because I didn't. I've had so many women say to me, my mother was a fashionista and she was so good, but it's like, I can tell you this. And I'll share some stories with you as we connect more on Thursdays in my Leading Ladies group. My mother could take water and turn it into wine. Of course, that's an exaggeration, but she was an excellent cook. She just had that, what I call the X factor. Unfortunately, my sister and I didn't get that gene. It's okay. We love to eat, we love to dine, and we love laughter. We didn't get that gene either. So we don't always get all the things that are in that DNA, that genetic line that we come here with. But that's okay. What you want to do is whatever the service is that you're offering, you want to find a way that you can present it to people so that they engage and take part in what you're offering and know that it's value for them. The content is mind-boggling for them because, again, we don't know what we don't know. So I want you to take this. I have this link everywhere, but I also want you, if you can take a little quick snapshot, or better yet, you can get to my Facebook business page and you can take a snapshot and click and go there and sign up. It is Thursday at 4:30 and it will be fun. It will be epic. It will be interesting. You will walk away with more than you arrived with, and you will say, wow, at least that is my prayer. And I'm inviting you not only to come, but invite friends that you know who might find it interesting as well. And if this is your first time here and you're watching the replay, type in the word in the comments, biz, B-I-Z, and you will be delivered a checklist, which will give you lots of tips and tools about how you interview, how you show up, and how you prepare to be your best in that interview, because that's what you want. But I can share this with you here and now, because this was given to me some time ago, and I took it to heart, and I hope that you will. This is just a box. We're all going to be working in this box for quite a while. What you want to do, wherever your camera's eye might be, is to look into that eye, and you're having a conversation with your best friend, your mom, your dad, whoever you adore and love. There's a little bit of crazy, I think, in all of us. I can say this to you because I don't find it crazy. You might. When I come here and I'm alone like tonight, I'm never, ever alone. My ancestors are circling me right here. I know it, I feel it, I sense them, and I know that they're here. And when I tell you that I love astrology, I love to dine, all of these good things, because that's part of my DNA and my heritage and my upbringing. And yet much of that I didn't get. But no one can laugh quicker and faster and harder than I can. at anything. And the first thing would be me, because there's a lot of mishaps that I have and things that didn't come to me as easily as it comes to others. And what I want you to remember is this: no matter how intelligent, how gifted, how much you have in credentials and education and your looks and your body and your all of that stuff, when the floodgates open again, you know, there's so many people out here who are suffering, and I do mean suffering. When the floodgates open, many of them will be coming to work online if they've not started already. This new platform, Clubhouse, is going to be inundated with people coming from all over the world because they're opening it up for Androids, I'm told, by the end of May. You want to get ready. And for those who say they don't care and it doesn't matter how you show up as your best self, I say bravo for you. If it's not a facade and you really mean that, I say good. What you leave on the back burner because that's your outlook is a whole different saga, and that's your saga to deal with. It doesn't matter what anybody else has to say or what they think, because that's the decision that you've made. But what I'm inviting you to do is to investigate, to look into all the options and the possibilities that might be open for you to know from your core, the soul, the essence of you. That's why I've added into this that I'm doing with you, personal and professional and spiritual development, getting into who you are. Not only your body shape, that's your beginning and that's important, but what do you like? More importantly, what likes you best? What really adorns your body where it showcases you in the best way? The truth is, whether you're second act, second chapter, midlife, it really doesn't matter. When you're young, you can get away with everything. Didn't we all? Of course we did. But now, if you are segueing from one term of life, stage of life, section of life to another, things have happened. And you can't do exactly. You can do whatever you want to do. But if you want to show up as your best self, there's just certain things that just won't work anymore. And if that doesn't matter to you, that's okay. There's no judgment here. But that's not the person we're looking for. We're looking for the leaders who care. Because until you really, really care from the core, the soul of you, there is no perfection. You know, I come from that anal perfectionist background, so I know there is none. I started here on this platform, and I still do. Not as many as I used to. I make so many boo-boos, it's ridiculous. But you just plug on. You just keep doing it. You learn a little bit here, a little bit there. Somebody says this, somebody shares that. You take it to heart, you apply it, and you just keep getting better and better. Knowing you still have a long way to go, but you just keep getting better. And that's what you want to do. And if you don't want to do that, if you have settled in and you're residing in average, common, ordinary, no one is going to blame you for that. But that's not the person we're seeking here. We're looking for those who want to lead and know that they have work to do. I want to lead. I am a leader, and I am constantly surrounding myself with people who help me to get to be better, beyond better, to my best self. That's what we aim for. Good, better, best. Yes, we started good, we get better, and we strive, if we care, to get to be the best with no ego. Forget the ego. No one needs an ego anymore. When you're healthy in your spiritual mindset, the ego you throw into the garbage can. It's not needed. But that best self is a self that turns around and supports, guides, aids, assists, and helps others to climb up to where you want to go. So what I'm going to ask you to do again is to type in biz, if you haven't already, and you'll get the free checklist. And I want you to know that you're always welcome here. My intention is always to bring you men and women who are here to serve and want to share their message out because they know that they have a message that they need to share and they want it on a broader base level. And so we come and we do that. So what I'm going to invite you to do, if you are interested in sharing your message, my pleasure, my excitement, my passion, along with the work that I do as a style and leadership coach, is to spotlight, showcase, and highlight you and all these different platforms that we go out to. And on the Clubhouse platform that we now are very much involved with, I'm going to be inviting you there and sharing lots of things with you. I'm asking you to join my Facebook group, Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. I'm asking you to join me in the Clubhouse every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, it's going to be epic. And I'm also going to be there on Wednesday nights at 9. And that's another something I'll be sharing much more with you about and inviting you. And you must come because you'll find it fascinating. This is a great platform as well. And then my free workshop, which is Thursday. Need I tell you that I would love to see you there? The link is here, and I hope that you will join us because it's going to be, don't you like to have fun? Of course you do. It's going to be fun. And I want you to just, this is going through. You don't have to bother with that because it's on the Facebook page, the event. You can just go sign up and you'll get everything, the Zoom link of what you need. So, that said, being old school back in the day, old fashioned, I don't mind at all. You know why? Because I love this new technology. But friends, it's our time for those of us who had a little bit more life experiences, have more life skills. It's time to step back and kind of blend the old with the new. Because so many of these young people, they're looking for the label role model is kind of gone, but they want examples of who and what they can be outside of the entertainment and the sports arena. Those are great arenas and we need them. We can't exist without them. But too many kids get lost and confused. The confusion is rampant because that's not where they're going in either one of those two directions. Maybe they want to be in business. They want to be entrepreneurial. There is so much that's going on. I just saw a notification that we're having trouble streaming to Facebook. Well, I hope that doesn't involve this, but if it does, then it does. What can I say? It's always something. But what I just want to leave you with is this. Just make sure that you are an example for those who come to you for whatever it is that they come to you for. Because one of the things that's happening here is that your example, you never know who's watching, who's listening, who's viewing you from whatever vantage point or perspective. So your assignment is to always show up. One of my friends said the other day in one of our groups, even if you're running out to the mailbox, run out in your best robe or nightgown. Why not? There's nothing wrong with that. And that's what we want you to do. I see here that this notice came up. I don't know if this is going through Facebook or not. If it does, it does. And if it doesn't, hey, listen, what can we do? We just continue. I want you also to, and I will put this notice on my Facebook page so that you can join me in the Clubhouse and you can join me for the workshop that I'm giving. And beyond that, what I can say is this: take care of you. Forget about the facade of those who maybe don't give a hoot. You give a hoot. Care. Care deeply about you and how you show up. Doesn't mean you've got to dress to the nines every day, 24/7. But it means when you go out to meet, greet, and connect, you want to show up as your best self. Because let me tell you, the competition, it's going to be fierce, and you want to be ready. You might have gotten away with a lot up until now, but things are changing. And listen, what I read here not too long ago, I want to share this briefly with you. They said that even Google has changed their dress style, pattern, habit, code, that they're asking the people there to dress a little bit more businesslike. Still wear jeans and golf shirts and so on, but not hanging down and so on. Listen, dressing for success never went out of style, and it never will. It changed, but you know, everything new is old again. So just remember that. And may I say to you, I always enjoy it when you show up. Your company is always welcome and invited and embraced here. I am eager to meet you one-on-one, whether it's virtual or at an event meeting, however it plays out. I want you to be well, stay safe, wear the mask, and do everything that you can to be your best self and to help others as they become their best self. So that's it for tonight. And I can't wait to see you again. Like, how about tomorrow night? Same time, same station. Thank you for being here. It's always a pleasure to share time and space with you. I hope you'll take that ending to heart. Be well, be safe, stay safe, and wear the mask. And join me on Thursday at 4:30 and the Leading Ladies Facebook group and Clubhouse. Woo, that's a lot, but you can handle it. I'll see you soon, like tomorrow night. So long for now. Cheers.